magic feather and the power of belief. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. My friend Dumbo here. It's a great story. I haven't thought about it in a while. My kids are always rewatching these old classics. If you've never seen the original Dumbo by Walt Disney, 1941, okay, so it came out not long before or long after Pearl Harbor. It actually bombed in the movie theater because people thought the whole world was going to heck in a handbasket because the U.S. was being pulled into World War II. So it wasn't top priority to get out and watch this movie. And so it didn't do that well. And it certainly didn't do well internationally because of what was going on internationally. But it's one of those, it's a kind of a fun movie, and I'm going to ruin it for you. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry. It's been a while. You should have seen it by now. So there's a spoiler alert on Dumbo, right? So, but I know most of you have seen it. Toward the end of the movie, he discovers this elephant that has really large ears. He discovers that his large ears give him the ability to fly. Now, they figured this out because he was in a drunken stupor and found himself in a tree, and that was the only way that he probably could have gotten up there. And it's funny how kids movies from those days are different from kids movies now, right? But so they're in the tree and trying to figure out how are we gonna learn how to fly again? How are we gonna do this again? So Timothy the mouse plucks a feather from one of the crows there and says, "Oh well, here you go. This is a magic feather. This will give you the ability to fly. We already know you can. This will give you the ability because this feather is magic. If you just hold this in your trunk, it will do everything for you. Everything will take care of itself." Sure enough, he jumps off the cliff. It doesn't seem like it's going to work, but it does. And he's able to fly with his giant ears. This elephant can fly through the air. And so it becomes a thing. So now he can do it because he's got the magic feather. Later on, he's in the circus and everything, and he's got to be able to do the same thing. Well, the feather gets blown away out of his trunk, and he thinks he can't do it. But really, he had the ability to do it all the time. The feather was a ruse. It was something that wasn't necessary, but it was necessary for one particular reason, and that was to bring out the belief. Now, could he fly beforehand? Yeah, he could. And so many of the things that we can't do, it comes down to a system of what we say is belief. We just don't have enough belief. But really, we have enough belief. You have enough belief to do everything that you have the ability to do. The problem isn't the belief. The problem is what's covering up the belief. It's the disbelief. It's the doubt. Doubt is the problem. You remove the doubt and the belief is there. But if you had a magic feather, and it happens all the time, we see it all the time, there's always something that ends up happening that allows you to set aside disbelief, set aside doubt, because this one thing is different. This time, more than any other, this one thing is going to make all the difference. And it does. Did the one thing actually do it? No, the one thing just allowed you to set aside doubt. It allowed you to doubt the doubt long enough and let the belief shine through. The belief's already there. You already believe everything you need to believe. What you need to do is get rid of your disbelief. You need to set that aside. You need to be able to put doubt aside. And you see this over and over again. With anybody that succeeds, they get to a point and something clicks, and all of a sudden it's not that belief shows up, it's that disbelief goes away, and all of a sudden they are able to do something they can't do before. And oftentimes you'll see in tragic stories where situations where people can do something for a period of time and then they can't again, the doubt returns and they're not able to set it aside, and they think it was all about the magic feather. I see this a lot in companies that have anyone that helps along with the sales process, whether they have salespeople, whether they have marketers, whether they have anything of that sort, and they get inspired by a new product. They get inspired by a new method or a new tactic or a new way of doing the same thing that they've always done. They get inspired by that. They set disbelief aside. The thing that they're selling, the way that they're selling it, none of that stuff matters. They had all the ability in the world beforehand. But because of that magic feather that allowed them the process, it's the placebo effect, in a sense. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. In the long run, though, you have to get it through your head that it's not about the thing. The thing isn't going to change anything. It's the ability to just drop your doubt, to leave those bags behind, and to be able to finally run. You can run once you can drop your baggage. It was a very simple idea that came in my mind tonight, and it made so many different connections to different points in my life and points in people that I work with. You see things that are holding them back, and it all comes back to the same thing: a lack of belief, which is a belief in doubt. It's a belief that something can't occur, that very clearly everything points to the idea that it absolutely can occur. It's all about dropping doubt. And if that takes a magic feather, it takes a magic feather, but don't fool yourself into thinking that that's really the thing. It's just your way of achieving the same end. So that's all I got for tonight. kind of a different set on mindset here tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. More than likely, we do this on a semi-regular basis, but I want you to check out content marketing and look into it. If you haven't looked into it yet, I've got a whole course on kind of for beginners. If you're looking to see whether content marketing can work for your business or to promote anything that you have going, go to contentmarketingquestion.com. It's going to answer that one question for you, whether it's right for you or not. Because I've got 7 examples of ways it probably wouldn't work for you, and if any of those apply to you, then don't waste your time trying to focus on content marketing. There's so many people pushing you in that direction. Well, if you can just set that aside, that narrows your necessity. It narrows the possibilities for your business and where you need to focus on. So even if you don't do content marketing, this is going to be helpful to you to make that final decision. Contentmarketingquestion.com. That's all I've got for tonight. You have a good one. In the meantime, just get out there and let the magic happen.